You know, Chewbacca has been a hero to children of all ages since he first appeared in the first Star Wars movie, or Part 4 in 1977. For the last 47 years, a lot of people think they know his origin story, but today we're going to be talking a little bit of how the character was put together. Now, Chewbacca, of course, is Han Solo's best friend. When Solo was still alive, he and Chewie ran the Millennium Falcon, and at 7'5", he typically wears only two things: a bandolier and a tool pouch. So technically, he's naked. He carries a bowcaster, a traditional Wookie weapon, and he speaks the Wookie language Shai-Ru-Wook. He first appears in the original Star Wars film as a loyal friend of the smuggler Han Solo. He's also the co-pilot of Han's starship, the Millennium Falcon. Now, Chewbacca was portrayed by the great Peter Mayhew in the original film trilogy, the Star Wars Holiday Special, and of course, Revenge of the Sith. Mayhew shares the Chewbacca role with his body double, Jonas Sotomo, in The Force Awakens 2015. Following Mayhew's retirement in 2017, Sutomo took over the role, appearing in The Last Jedi and The Rise of Skywalker. Sutomo also plays Chewbacca in the standalone film Solo: A Star Wars Story. Chewbacca also appears in animated series, novels, comics, and video games. Now, when George Lucas invented many fictional characters while writing the original 1977 Star Wars film, Chewbacca himself was inspired by his dog, an Alaska Malamute named Indiana. She would sit in the passenger seat of his car while he was driving, and he referred to her as his co-pilot. Chewbacca's name was derived from the Russian word Sobaka, which means dog. In France, his name was changed in the original French language release of Star Wars. He was called Chitaba, and his nickname was Chico. The Chewbacca costume used in the original trilogy and the Star Wars Holiday Special was made from yak hair, rabbit hair, and mohair. For The Force Awakens, multiple Chewbacca suits were crafted from yak hair, lycra, and a small amount of mohair. Chewbacca's voice was created by Ben Burt, the sound designer for the original trilogy and the prequel trilogy. He generated a Wookiee's vocalizations by mixing together recordings of four bears, a badger, a lion, a seal, and a walrus going. Mayhew modeled his performance of Chewbacca on the mannerism of animals he observed in public zoos. Now, ironically, in his 1997 review of a special edition re-release of The Empire Strikes Back, the film critic Roger Ebert declared that of all the characters, Chewbacca gave the worst performance. He wrote, "This character was thrown in the first film as window dressing and never thought through, and as a result had been saddled with one facial expression and one mournful yelp. Much more could have been done. How can you be a space pilot and not be able to communicate in any meaningful way? Does Han Solo really understand Chewie's monotonous noises? Do they have long chats sometimes?" In spite of Ebert's critique, Chewbacca received a Lifetime Achievement Award at the 1997 MTV Movie Awards. Now, Chewbacca again was introduced in the Star Wars Episode 4, or Star Wars, and is portrayed by Peter Mayhew in all three films, the film trilogy. Mayhew was cast primarily for his height of 7'3". In Star Wars, Chewbacca and Han Solo are smugglers who accept a charter to transport Luke and Obi-Wan to the planet Alderaan aboard their ship, the Millennium Falcon. When they find the planet obliterated by the Death Star, Chewbacca and Han help their passengers rescue Princess Leia and take her to the rebel base on Yavin 4. In the film's climatic battle scene, Chewbacca and Han save Luke from being killed by Darth Vader, which allows Luke to destroy the Death Star. After the battle, Princess Leia acknowledges Chewbacca for his achievements alongside Luke and Han. Now here it gets kind of bizarre. The Empire Strikes Back takes place 3 years after Star Wars. Chewbacca and Han are planning to leave the rebellion to pay off a debt to Jabba the Hutt, but are drawn back into the war when the Empire assaults the rebel base. Chewbacca, Han, and Leia seek refuge in Cloud City with Han's friend Lando Calrissian, unaware that Lando has betrayed him to the Empire. C-3PO is blasted into pieces by an Imperial stormtrooper, and Chewbacca saves him from being melted down. Before Han is frozen in carbonite and delivered to Jabba, he asks Chewie to look after Leia for him. Chewbacca, Leia, and Lando escape from Vader on the Falcon. When Leia hears Luke's cry for help, she orders Chewbacca to turn the ship around to rescue him. In the film's final scene, Chewbacca joins the others in preparing to rescue Han from Jabba. Now, Lucas wanted to create audience sympathy for C-3PO in The Empire Strikes Back by having him get dismantled. Because both C-3PO and Chewbacca were likable characters, but dislike one another, Lucas wanted them to have a bonding experience. Towards the end, Chewbacca rescues C-3PO and later repairs him with the help of R2-D2. Now, at the beginning of Return to Jedi, Chewbacca infiltrates Jabba's palace by pretending to be the prisoner of a bounty hunter who is actually Leia in disguise. Chewbacca and his companions manage to rescue Han and escape. Later, Chewbacca joins the others on a mission to destroy the second Death Star's shield generator, which is located on Endor. During a battle, Chewbacca commandeers an AT-ST walker, which contributes to the mission's success. And of course, he becomes friends with the Ewoks, which turn a lot of people off. At the end of the film, Chewbacca and the other rebels celebrate the destruction of the Death Star and the fall of the Empire. Now, he only appeared in one of the prequel trilogy's movies. Chewbacca in Revenge of the Sith and his fellow Wookie Tarful fight in the Clone Wars, when Kashyyyk is invaded by the Separatist Alliance. Of course, he became fast friends with Yoda. He also helped the Jedi Master Yoda escape from clone troopers who were ordered to kill him. Now, in the sequel trilogy, in The Force Awakens, Mayhew shares the Chewbacca role with his body double, Suotomo. In the film, which is set 30 years after Return to Jedi, Chewbacca and Han find a Millennium Falcon, which had been stolen from them. They help the rogue First Order Stormtrooper Finn, the scavenger Rey, and the droid BB-8 escape from a gang of mercenaries, then fly to the castle of Maz Kanata so she can help them deliver BB-8 to the Resistance. While they're at Maz's castle, the First Order arrives and captures Rey. Chewbacca and the others fly to Resistance base, where Chewbacca and Han reunite with Leia and C-3PO. They also soon reunite with Rey, who escaped from the First Order. During a Resistance mission, Han is killed by his son Kylo Ren, which prompts an enraged Chewbacca to shoot Kylo in the side. The Wookiee then sets off explosives that allow Poe Dameron and other X-Wing pilots to destroy Starkiller Base, the First Order's superweapon. Before the base explodes, Chewbacca rescues Rey and Finn from the wilderness, where they had been fighting with Kylo. Later, Chewbacca helps Rey and Luke on the planet Ahch-To. Now, Suotomo portrays Chewbacca in The Last Jedi, which takes place immediately after The Force Awakens. While Rey attempts to convince Luke to train her, Chewbacca develops a relationship with some seabirds known as Porgs, which he has eaten a couple of them before he did. Later on, Chewbacca and Rey help the Resistance by using the Falcon to distract Force Order TIE fighters. Now, Chewbacca returns in The Rise of Skywalker, again played by Suotomo. He and his companions travel to the planet Pazana, where they search for a clue to the location of a Sith Wayfinder. With the help of Lando, they located the clue, but are quickly found by the First Order. While Rey confronts Kylo, Chewbacca is captured and taken aboard a transport. Rey then uses the Force to arrest the flight of the transport she mistakenly believes Chewbacca is on. She accidentally destroys the ship with Force lightning and believes she has killed Chewbacca, who in reality was on a different transport. Deeply shaken by the apparent death of the Wookiee, Rey and the others pledge to continue the mission in his memory. Later on, Chewbacca's friends realize he's alive and manage to rescue him. When he returns to the Resistance base, they learn of Leia's death and Chewbacca is distraught. He then helps Lando recruit citizens from across the galaxy to defeat the Sith Eternal Forces. Near the end of the film, Chewbacca receives a medal from Maz. And of course, the Solo, a Star Wars story, talks about his early relationship with Han Solo, where he escaped from a small pit. Now, he has appeared in many different categories, video games, books, but in his 78th television program, the Star Wars Holiday Special, introduced Chewbacca's family, including his wife, his son, and his father, who was the chief of the Wookiee tribe. The program features a story in which Chewbacca and Han travel to his home planet to celebrate Life Day, while trying to prevent Darth Vader from spoiling the holiday. The special is not part of the Star Wars story canon, even though it should be. Now, why Chewbacca is so popular is basically because he basically is a loyal and dedicated warrior. Everybody that's watched Star Wars has nothing bad to say about Chewbacca, because Chewbacca is a friend to everybody, children, adults, older people, because Chewbacca is basically not the mentality of a pet with armament, but kind of like that. Everybody can relate to Chewbacca. I've never heard one person criticize him, and not to my face, I'm sure. So that's some of the history of Chewbacca in the Star Wars movies. and he's an origin story based on, of course, Lucas's dog. If you like what we're doing here with our Star Wars podcast, let us know with a like, comment, subscribe, or share.